Hi everyone. So I haven't forgotten about the Coeurl Trial, which I was going to do with a more long-term or mid-term oriented team. So this is the team I'll be using for this attempt. Mind though, you do not need to use Aerith. You could go for Sylvie, could go for Myra, Luna Freya, whichever one you like. They are probably a little bit better because they provide actual attack, defense, spirit, and so on and so forth buffs. Aerith does not do that, so you have just more DPS in general than me. However, I like Aerith's sprite, I like her kit, so that's why I'm going for her. So let's check the team. Vaughn is just here to do breaking, attacking, getting rid of Mirage, especially from the boss. So he's not doing anything special. Sacred Shield Charlotte is going to be our magical tank, magical cover tank. She does have a lot of resistances. I went completely overboard, especially on the ice resistance, as you can see. You do not need that much. Everything above 100-150% is way more than enough. So her gear is looking like this, her abilities like this. I do use some STMRs, as you can see. You can substitute those whichever you like. You do not, like I said, you do not need as much resistances, especially in the ice department, as me. Alright, so let's check the Neovision Cloud I'm using. Now I gave him Inferno Saber. If you do have a Centurio, for example, which is also a fire weapon, that is fine. So this is the only fire weapon that I have that is also pretty decent. I'll be using this one. It also plays well into the Fire Imperil from Vaughn, which is why I'm opting for this weapon. Now for his abilities, I'm using Cloud's own STMR and some killers, and I'm using his own vision card. Now as you can see, my beast kill is at 255%, which is pretty decent, I'd say. Alright, now let's move on to Aerith. She's just here to basically heal, buff the team, provide in quotation mark resistances. Those are not resistances. She always will dispel breaks and debuffs at the beginning of the turn, so you do not have to deal with them. Pretty much. I did gear her, use her own vision card, and I also geared her Brave Shift form, although I might actually not use it depending on how long the fight is going to last. But as you can see, I'm using quite decent gear on here as well. And she does support 55% demon beast killer, although it's only physical, not magical, so she has 0 magical beast killer for that matter. And last but not least, I'm using my own Awakened Warrior of Light. He's just here to cover the physical attacks. He's passive provoke evading. Nothing special about him other than taking care of physical attacks. And lastly, we do have friends Garu Belt's Neovision Rain. He does pair well with Cloud, and he has his own beast killer, I suppose. He has 200% of that. He's not using a fire weapon, but I'll be using his limit burst to give him the fire imbue for 2 turns. You might add to that, but it should be enough. Also, that's one of the reasons why I'm using Aerith. She has that ATB ward, which provides limit burst fills, so I can use his LB on a more on a quicker note, I should say. So before anything goes wrong, I'm going to stop the video, so do not have to do this introduction again, and we'll see you in just a second. Alright, I forgot about one thing which wiped me the whole run. It was pretty much reapplying my AoE cover with Warrior of Light, which meant that the boss actually killed my team. Let's move on and have this another go. Everything's the same. I'm using just another Neovision Rain. That one worked out quite well, as you're going to see in just a minute. Alright, so Vaughn will triple. He is going to provide AoE Mirage. He will use True Fire Arc Killers and full breakdown on a boss. Charlotte will Knights of Knights and Light of Grandchild. Awakened Warrior of Light is using none can extinguish the light within us. Aerith will provide us healing for the next turn. The first one is a physical turn, so we can pretty much ignore everything the boss is doing, because Warrior of Light is going to take care of that for us. And let's have Aerith use ATB ward, so oh no, let's not use this, let's use Lustrous Shield on the Neo Vision Rain friend in case he gets attacked on random, at random. So Neo Vision Cloud is going to ignition and focus first. The Neo Vision Rain friend is going to attack. Let's do this again. He's using Helios Saber to buff everyone's attack. He's using Blaze Saber. No, he's using Beast Breaker to boost physical damage against beasts. And he's using Blaze Saber to give himself fire imbue. So he chains well with our Cloud. Let's have him go. So this is a setup turn, this won't be much damage at all. Well, famous last words, I guess. That was already 10% pretty much. And we'll start dealing true damage on the next turn. Right, so Warrior of Light took care of everything for us. Now the boss has some Mirage stacks right now, but we will not care about those. Let's use this one. Van is going to use True Pyroclasm, so get up some nice debuffs on him. So the boss still has one stack of his Mirage up and running, but we'll take care of that in just a few moments. So I'm gonna use Planet's Protection. I know it's a physical damage taken buff, however our team is fully debuffed on, with this one here, take damage every turn, and this is based on physical damage. So we do wanna have Planet's Protection up as long as possible. Now I am going to use ATB ward as well. The reason being it provides some constant healing for a couple of turns, which is nice for everyone. So we can counteract against this debuff of ours. And Warrior of Light is getting rid of that Mirage for us. Meanwhile, Cloud is going to use Focus Thrust and Braver, while Neo Vision Rain with Prominent Saber, because he's buffing attack for all allies, and use Rising Saber to top it off. So here you go. And as you can see, we dealt a lot of damage, so this is going to be over quite quickly. So the Rain friend got attacked, and Charlotte is taking some damage. It's not much, but it is much, but we're still good. She's also taking care of that Mirage from the boss, so we are all good to attack at full force. And as you can see, the boss has debuffed our whole team, broke all our attack, defenses, spirit and magic. We will get rid of that in just a second with Aerith. The cool thing about Aerith, Mental Liberation removes all those debuffs at this current turn, and it will also remove all of this on the next turn. So we use that, and we will also use, so we're still getting healing, so let's use Lustrous Shield. Or no, I should actually heal Charlotte. So as you can see, all the debuffs are gone. Now Van is going to perfect dispel the boss, so we actually deal some more damage. Also gonna use for breakdown, top the boss. So the only buffs that remain are his attack and magic buff, but everything else is still up and running. Alright. Secretary Charlotte will buff herself, or the mitigation, or everyone's mitigation I should say, through her LB, and Cloud is using Focus Thrust and Braver, while Rain is using Rising Saber 3 times in a row as long as he still has his Fire Imbue. Yes. Let me just check. Boost attack, boost this, that. Alright, so we're good on that regard. Do we have... oh, we could use actually some barriers on our team, so let's provide that. And let's have the DPSs go. And the boss should take a fair amount of damage this time. Oh yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, the boss should dispel us on here. Which he actually did last time, but I'm not sure if this is bound for turns. No, it's not. Or it is actually probably. Because last time he did dispel, my team was on 50%, but maybe that was because he was on turn 5 or 6, I don't know, to be sure. Or to be honest. So we still have our beast killer buffs up and up, if I'm not mistaken. No, we do not. Oh, but it's still down for a couple of turns. Okay. So... Rain and Cloud do their thing. I'm gonna use Focus Thrust 3 times on this turn. We can use Vance LB to refresh all the breaks and fire in peril. Aerith will... what is she going to do actually? It's a physical turn. She's gonna provide Lustrous Shield on here. She also will Physical Liberation. We do not have any breaks, I believe. Yes, we do not. I have still 3 turns out on this. Let's use Light is Within Us over here. And Charlotte is going to Knight's Command. And let's heal a little bit, although we don't need it. And have the DPSs go. Now we do not have any Beast Killer Mirror, so we will deal considerably less damage. But as you can see, it's still a lot. So we might actually kill the boss on the next turn, depending on what he does right now. If he dispels us, we will have a tougher time. Thunderbite, Flame Fang, nothing really mattering over here. Blaster. Alright, so I do not think he dispelled it because the dispel is Howl, I suppose? Yeah, he did not. Great. Let's just check. Yep, everything's still good to go. So Focus Thrust 3 times. Let's see, do we have Beast Breaker ready? Nope, we do not. Alright, so Prominent Saber, Rising Saber, have this go, and the boss should die this turn. But before we do that, let's get rid of... oh yeah, we got rid of all his debuffs, so... Fire Killers, Jade Parry, Full Breakdown. So yeah, also getting rid of his Mirage. The boss is imperiled and broken. Crystal Barrier on Warrior of... oh no, I should... let me just quickly go for this. Light is Within Us, so we still cover all our asses. Why? Let's just check if we are broken on anything. Nope, we're not. So Planet's Protection, and let's use physical liberation as well. So if we can't kill the boss on this very turn, we will kill him on the next. We might actually not, we'll see though. And he's dead, okay. So that was, I forgot actually to use the Esper on Warrior Flight. I forgot about that, oh well, doesn't matter. But this is taking 5 turns, the boss is quite easy as you can see once you have that gear up and running. And especially if you're using the, not Akstar, but PG Lasswell, you'll have probably easier time. Because you do not have to worry about using specific weapons like I did. Or you can use a friend Akstar, for example, who's providing ice imbue for everyone. But you'd have to use PG Lasswell to actually chain with Akstar as well. But still, this is quite an easy fight. Like I said, I forgot to use the Esper, which would have been usually, what's his name, Diabolos, to top it all off. I'm not gonna do this again, honestly. I forgot about it, it happened. I'm moving on, and we will see each other on Thursday again, where I'll be doing the Extreme Intangir, or whatever the name is, trial, and I'll be doing some pulls for Yoshikiri, I guess. But I'm not gonna go all in. I don't feel like he's actually worth it, especially with no safety nets. Instead, I'll be hoarding hard for Starlight Elena, which is coming out on September 24th. And once that day comes around, I'll be using a lot of tickets and probably some lapis if I can't get her with my ticket pulls. So that pretty much concludes this video. Thank you all for watching. Have a good day and see you all on Thursday for pull day number 2 and the Intangir Extreme Edition. Goodbye.